Swathmore. Goal by freshman Bless Tumashabi.
not really at fault for either of the goals today. Both of them very well done, very well placed. And outside of that, he's done a very good job. Made some great saves as we just saw. His distribution has been a little bit lacking, but really, probably the best player so far for the Highlanders in this one. Gross has it now on the wing. Gives it to Nolan. Back to Gross. Hotham finds Lau. And so I've just been informed that so far this entire time the audio has not been working properly. I do believe it is working now. So once again, welcome fans to the Garnet Sports Network for this non-conference matchup between Swathmore College Garnet and the Cairn University Highlanders. For anyone just checking in, oh, great tackle there by Millette. Millette chasing it down, can't quite get it, throwing for the Highlanders. For anyone just checking in right now, the score is 2-0, and the Garnet have been absolutely dominant. So far, 0 shots on target for the Highlanders and 10 for the Garnet, as they've employed a very offensive game plan already. 1 goal for Woo Jin Shin and 1 goal for the freshman Blessed Tumashabi, both of which are now have been subbed off. Woo Jin Shin just replaced by junior Charlie Ward. Free kick called for the Highlanders. Now, Highlanders have had a lot of trouble dealing with the quick passes employed by Swarthmore's midfield and attack. Very fluid offense so far. A lot of midfielders showing up on the wing. A lot of transference. We had Trevor Homestead run down the left wing and deliver a very nice cross that could have been very dangerous. And now we'll have another substitution. Trevor Homestead, just as I bring him up, substituted for number 21, Jason Muth. Muth now gets his first touch of the game. Looks to push it forward into the feet of Fisher, whose clearance goes straight to Sean Nolan. Nolan brings it down well and gives it to Lanyon. Now it's Viscusi on the ball. And now with the Garnet in such a heavy lead, free kick called. I believe the push there was from number 12, Aaron Campbell, if I'm reading his number correctly. And it will be a free kick for the Garnet. I do believe that was Campbell, yes. This one will be taken by Charlie Ward, who will look to cross it. Delivery by Ward. Headed on by Hotham, couldn't get it on target, and Muth couldn't get his foot on the ball. That will go out for a Highlander goal kick. So we apologize for the technical issues early on. I hope you can all hear me now. It's Santiago Caicedo, and we are currently at Clothier Field watching men's soccer's final non-conference matchup of the season. And Grogan's goal kick will fly out of bounds. Once again, just probably his biggest weakness so far in the game has been that distribution. Hasn't been able to has missed on a couple of good punts, and well, there you saw the goal kick just fly out of bounds. Besides that, he's been solid despite the scoreline. Already 4 saves on the game. And that's Nestorenko with a through ball as Steinglass cleared it but made contact with the attacker. I think that was Luis P. Villanueva, and he's down in the penalty box. Seems to be pretty banged up. Did come on a little bit earlier. But he will stand right up and attempt to walk it off there. The pass there from Josiah Nestorenko. Right now the leading goal scorer for this Highlander team. Also an underrated distributor. That was not a bad attempt at a through ball. Maybe a little overpowered. Gave Steinglass a chance to clear it before he made contact with Nestorenko. Grogan will punt. Villanueva on the ball. Loses it. Now it's Ward. Back to Lanyon. Hotham. Gives it to Gross. Muth has the ball in the middle with space. Faces some pressure from Nestorenko and passes it back. Ben Lau on the ball now. He'll look to send it deep. Looking for Io George. Header there, won by Fisher, but Io George recovers and then cleared once again by Fisher. George now on the ball. His cross intercepted by Nestorenko, who looks to send it upfield for Kuykendall before he's beat to the ball by Harrison Hotham. And now the game has slightly devolved into a bit of a sloppier mess. Sloppier affair here. A lot of long balls attempted in the last couple minutes. No one really quite so successful. Swathmore had been doing very well. These substitutions maybe slowed him down a little bit in terms of the passing game, but we'll see if this continues or if they'll kind of go back to how they were playing earlier in this match. Pass there by Nestorenko, intercepted by Viscusi. Jason Muth tries to give it to Viscusi before his pass is intercepted, and then recovered by Nolan. That was Goodyear on the tackle. George has it on the right wing, finds Nolan. Nolan gives it to Muth. Lanyon now has it. He is one-on-one there against his man. Able to create enough space for the cross. And, oh my goodness, Millet, who was able to get a light header there. Maybe had it easier for a half volley. And a spectacular save there by Grogan on the bouncing header. You see, once again, a good job there by the Highlander keeper, who has already come out with 2 or 3 very good saves in this game. The score could by now be 3-4, maybe even 5-0. Ball cleared out. Nestorenko has it now. Finds Villanueva. And Villanueva is fouled by Ben Lau there. This one will be taken by Leatherman. The ball sent upfield. Clash there from Nestorenko and George. And now Nolan recovers and finds Millet, who can't quite get his pass to Ward, a bit misplaced there. Cleared by the Highlanders, and they will decide to just boot it upfield. Ball now in the feet of the Garnet. Lau looks for Viscusi and finds him on the left wing. Right. I apologize to all our viewers. I just realized that the box score on the live stream was saying 1-0. The score is 2-0, and that error has just been corrected. The second goal had come from freshman Bless Tumashabi. Cross there for the Garnet. Header won by Millet, who can't get what he wanted on it, and that will be another goal kick for the Highlanders. Ball sent up, bounces around in midfield, finally won by Villanueva, but once again lost quickly by the Highlanders. Can't seem to hold on to possession for more than a couple seconds at a time. This time won by Nestorenko. Finding Villanueva, and now he has room to run. Fouled there, brought down fairly clumsily by the midfielder Jason Muth. And that is a fair call there, obviously. Kuykendall on the ball, finds Nestorenko. Nestorenko looking for his man on the wing. Header won by Lanyon there. Now Viscusi will tear down the left wing. Before looking for Millet, can't quite get his pass on target, and is back with the Highlanders. Morrison passes it back to Fisher, who finds Kuykendall, and the tackle judged to be a foul there on Sean Nolan, and the Highlanders will move quickly. Now it's Morrison who had it, but a great tackle there by Michael Gross will send the ball out of bounds. It'll be another throw-in for the Highlanders. This time it'll be Keith Fisher to deliver. And it looks like it'll be almost like a cross, one of those deep throws that we do see quite often here at Clothier Field. Tries to find his man. Header won there by Gross, but stays in the box. Still in the box. Header won there by Hotham. Still bouncing around the box. The Garnet do want to get it out a little quicker next time. But Ben Lau does a great job of doing that, and he'll look to take it, running all by himself, crossing midfield. Ben Lau on an absolute tear, and then his pass is just a little behind Vescusi. Vescusi able to drop back and recover it, but that did put a bit of a... that slowed down the counterattack a little bit for the Garnet. Ben Lau now dropping back to his usual position as Muth boots it up the field safely into the hands of Grogan. Grogan will send it upfield. Header won there by Lau. Won again by Lau after taking a bounce off of Filimanchek. And now it's Ward on the ball. Ward finds Lanyon. Lanyon decides to take his man on. Still has the ball. Lanyon look to find Vescusi. Vescusi able to get his feet on it. And almost goes out of bounds before Ward is able to pass it back to Lau. Lau finding Nolan with a long ball on the ground, but Nolan bodied off of it by Nestorenko. And Campbell's errant pass straight into the feet of Millet. Oh my goodness! Goal for Swathmore College! 3-0 now to the Garnet. Goal by senior Quentin Millet, who took advantage of Campbell's very errant ball before firing it on target. Slipped during the shot, but somehow Grogan was not able to get down and get the ball. Grogan clearly upset now, just punched his own goalpost. Clearly believes he should have done better. I mean, I do believe he should have done better. And that is the Garnet's third goal in this first half. They'll be very happy with how they're playing at the moment. And really just Quentin Millet, a bit fortunate that the ball went in. At the end of the day, a goal is a goal. Errant pass from Campbell straight into the feet of Millet. Slipped as he shot, but is able to keep it on target and then just slide it under Grant Grogan there. Just under 4 minutes left in the half. Also, it had been raining earlier, so maybe the slippery conditions contributed a little to Grogan not being able to get his hands on that ball. However, that is a save that any keeper should expect to make there. Pass up to Quentin Millet, who just got a goal. Quentin Millet turns around his defender before the ball is won by Filimanchek, and the referee calls for a free kick and a stoppage of the clock. Filimanchek clearly in a lot of pain right now. As you can see, he doesn't look to be getting up. Contact there was from Millet. Filimanchek had put in the initial tackle, and the referee must have seen enough from Millet to call the free kick. I'm not quite sure. I believe that was just a 50-50 clash on a clean tackle by Filimanchek. However, you never want to see a player injured. Filimanchek clearly in a lot of pain right now. But anyway, the Garnet so far doing a great job. Obviously, very hot start. Usually we kind of see them start off slow and then really pick things up in the second half. So Coach Wagner will be happy to see that start from his team. However, might not be so happy to see how the dynamic of the game changed slightly after the introduction of some of these substitutes. Some of that very clean, crisp passing that we saw from Bradley, Gall, Shin, and Homestead, all the players were taken off, kind of fell off just a little bit after the substitutes were introduced. Still clearly a very good job. Not a single shot from the Highlanders, and another goal for the Garnet in that time span. shows that the Garnet can succeed even when they're not playing as beautifully as they can. However, they'll be very happy with this first half performance overall, especially coming off a difficult loss to Franklin and Marshall just a few days ago. And Stephen Filimanchek is still on the ground receiving treatment. Number 21, John Jung, is now on the sideline waiting to be substituted in. To replace the injured player for the Highlanders. See a little movement now from Filimanchek as he's able to sit up. Clearly still in a lot of pain. He probably will not return as he's helped up now by his trainers. And he can't really put any weight on that left foot. He'll be walked off. Never mind. I apologize. Good to see that he can put weight on the foot now, as he's really walking off mostly by himself, just a little support from the trainers. And he will be replaced by number 21, the freshman from South Korea, Jeon Jung. Now the Garnet will slowly come back to their regular positions on the field. Quentin Millette, who's usually a winger, I forgot to take note of this, but Quentin Millette, usually a winger, is now playing center forward, while Zach Viscusi, who last year was one of the two center forwards that the Garnet employed, is now firmly on the left wing. Bit of an interesting mix there. We see Ward and Nolan in their center midfield spots, with Jason Muth as the holding midfielder right now. When they are back in play, just over 3 minutes left in the half, Grogan passes it out, finds Nestorenko, headed by Jung. Ball recovered by Lanyon and passed back to Lau. Jung looking to press a little bit. So now Gross has it on the right side of the pitch, back to Hotham. And now with this big lead, Garnet can really, maybe look to expand that lead in the coming minutes and in the second half, or maybe just kind of take it easy and cruise their way to victory. We'll see what option Coach Wagner decides to employ with his players. Ball still in play, then lost by Morrison. Io George still has it despite Morrison and Nisterenko's double team. Muth pushed off the ball by Kickendahl, and now it's back at the feet of Morrison. Muth puts in a good slide tackle there after Morrison laid it off for Kickendahl, and that'll go out for a Highlander throw-in. Villanueva heads it back. Jung puts up the high leg, and the referee did call him for it as Hotham came charging in to head that ball out. Free kick taken quickly by the Garnet. Michael Gross passes it back to Hotham. And the Garnet will slowly advance up the field as Lanyon looks to find someone in the midfield. His ball goes straight to Kickendahl. And now the Highlanders will try to make something happen. Ball pushed forward by Morrison. No one really in the vicinity as Jung decides to press. And the ball is just sent out of bounds by Hotham. And now with just about a minute 15 left in the half, Villanueva will be replaced by number 15, David Falcon. No, sorry, not number, I apologize, number 24, Hunter Keaton. Jung wins it, cleared out by Nolan, straight into the feet of Millette, whose fancy touch bounces off the knee of Ward, back in the feet of the Highlanders. And really, this defensive line for the Garnet so far has been utterly dominant. Really, almost nothing that the Highlanders have thrown at them has really stuck. Great defensive performance so far from Hotham, Lau, Lanyon, and Gross as the Garnet win another corner. Just under 30 seconds left in the half. They might look to take this one a little quickly. Short pass, and now it's Gross on it on the top of the box. He'll look to shoot. Shot blocked there by Goodyear, and now the Highlanders will look to counterattack, but not with Michael Gross on duty there. He was able to win the ball away from Nestorenko, and that ball intercepted will be pushed out as the first half ends. First half scored line 3-0 for the Garnet. A very dominant early first 20 minutes, and then maybe slightly less dominant, but still a good slightly less dominant over the back end of the half, but still a very good performance for the Garnet so far. Going into the second half with this kind of lead and this kind of dominance, I mean, in 45 minutes, the Highlanders were not able to put a single shot on the scoreboard. I'm looking for the Garnet maybe to give a chance to some of their unused substitutes so far. Guys like Gabe Levis, Andy Kim, Luca Marcelli, guys who I haven't necessarily seen play too much. I'd like to see a little bit of variation now that the Garnet are in such a comfortable position. Stay tuned, and we'll be back with more Swarthmore Garnet action for the second half.
Why choose Swarthmore? Wow.
I don't know how to say this in like one interview. There's just like this magnetic secret on campus that people really can't describe.
The campus itself is beautiful.
I was absolutely floored when I first came here. A lot of it came from the values that SWAT has.
It truly is the people that make this community. All my memories are inseparable from the people that were around me.
I applied to Swathmore through the Questbridge National College Match, and it's a program that matches high-achieving, low-income students with really selective institutions like this.
I knew I wanted to play basketball in college. Basketball was a tool that would enable me to get a great education. In high school, I was kind of pressured by the standard to play Division I, but I wanted to pave my own way.
It chose itself for me, and I knew on a more pre-intellectual level that this was the place.
And one of my favorite things and my favorite takeaways of this place has been the community.
I've been lucky to experience what learning is like at other institutions, and I'm very thankful that I did that because that completely changed my perception of Swarthmore. It made me realize that Swarthmore is special in these very small and unique ways that actually make an enormous difference.
The reason I'm so involved on campus is because I feel like the things that I do here matter. You can actually enact meaningful change.
When you're walking around campus, like I don't feel like I'm just walking by a bunch of strangers, and being in these smaller settings, like it gives you the opportunity to build strong relationships with people that also have like a vested personal interest in who you are as a person.
It totally tailors itself to like every type of person. You can come here and be anywhere on any spectrum, and you'll be pretty well welcomed.
You'll find that the people here are here for you. I was able to find really good, deep personal growth. And Swarthmore has been that formative experience that the community allows me to have that space that I can have that growth.
I have incredible mentors who have helped me at every step of the way, which I'm really thankful for. And I don't think I would have that same type of individualized attention and recognition at a place that's not Swarthmore.
And the Garnet, as recently as 7 years ago, could not have envisioned this. But in succession, every year has been a record-setting year.
When you're in college, you kind of find out who you are. And throughout your 4 years, you develop yourself with all the different experiences, which leads into dedicating yourself to your community, to your family. So when you're a senior, you're coming out a well-rounded person.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests outside of the classroom and outside of the court or field. I've had the ability to get into different activities and organizations, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
Getting to be involved in a lot of different things, ranging from obviously being a student athlete to getting involved with my campus and my community, and not only being allowed to do that, but being encouraged to do that.
The opportunity to be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, to have the professors know me on a personal level, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference. It really helps you develop thinking from other people's perspectives and looking at problems from outside the box.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
I've definitely learned how to really be myself. I found out, yes, I am actually a good leader, and yes, I can actually put myself forward because I am good enough. I can do it.
Coming in to college, I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of different career goals, and I've learned so much about myself that I was always like growing and changing.
When I got to college, it forced me to step up and become more of a leader. And I think that was something I had the capability of doing. And forever grateful that being at a Division III school gave me that opportunity.
You have to dedicate your time in the classroom, you have to dedicate your time in the gym, on the field, on the court.
Our coaches and the entirety of the athletic department, they valued the student athlete going out into community and trying something new and getting involved in campus life.
You can get involved in so many different things. So the possibilities are truly limitless for what you can do with your college experience. You can kind of make it your own in the Division III setting. So I would encourage people who want to have flexibility to pursue different interests and passions to go D3.
On and off the court, we're focused on creating lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. More college athletes are earning degrees than ever before, but we've still got work to do. That's why we're raising the bar for incoming freshmen, so they're prepared when they get to campus. And why teams can't play in championships unless they make the grade. Education matters, and putting academics first creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity. When all eyes are on the court, we're focused on what matters most. Preparing college athletes for a lifetime of opportunity. After the buzzer,
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready for the second half of today's non-conference matchup between the Swarthmore College Garnet and the Cairn University Highlanders. The score right now is 3-0, and as we'll be able to see in a couple seconds, the Garnet will be coming out to start the half with the same lineup that they started the game. That is Oliver Steinglass in goal, Ben Lau and Harrison Hotham in center defense, outside backs Felix Lanyon, Michael Gross. Center defensive mid is Trevor Homestead with Joey Bradley and Woojin Shin in center midfield. Your two wingers are Omri Gal and Joe Barilli, with your striker being freshman Bless Tumashabi. Woojin Shin, Bless Tumashabi, and Quentin Millette coming off the bench have the goals for us now as we get started in this second half. Gal wins the ball, loses it right back, but Woojin Shin gets a quick recovery. Gal finds Gross to Shin. And once again, that quick, neat passing that we've been seeing earlier on display between Gal, Shin, and I believe Gross, but Gross called offside there on that through ball. This one to be taken by Keith Fisher, who will bomb it upfield. Header one there by Hotham, recovered in midfield by Nisterenko. It's the Highlanders on the ball as they look to open their scoring account, open their shooting account, really. At the moment, Oliver Steinglass has had a very calm game. 0 saves on 0 shots. Mainly, his role has been distributional, a couple just passing it around with his center backs, and that one ball by Nisterenko where he had the collision with number 11, Luis P. Villanueva. Homestead pops the ball up high. Won by Goodyear, who finds Haskell. Haskell looks to pass it back, loses it. Ball still in the feet of the Garnet. Harrison Hotham on the ball. Finds Gal. Bradley had taken his spot there on the wing. A little bit of that fluidity that we've been seeing a lot more of this season between players, as now Joey Bradley moves back into center midfield and Omri Gal retakes his spot with the rest of the attackers. Deep throw by the Highlanders. Ben Lau comfortable on it. Felix Lanyon can't quite bring it down, and now it's back into their feet. Kickendall has it. Ball cleared there by Michael Gross. Homestead has it now on the left side of the pitch. Finding Bradley. Bradley gets it past to Tumashabi, and Tumashabi will start a foot race there with Goodyear. Oh, very good job there. His dribble just poked away there by Leatherman. Great display of pace there by Bless Tumashabi. I mean, everyone knows he has pace, but also just a very good touch to get in between the defenders. Almost able to get past the both of them with it. Good clearance by the defense. Kickendall has it. Heads it forward to Nisterenko. Now it's Fisher on it, looking for Morrison, but once again the pass is off target, and the Garnet have recovered the ball. Homestead there blown for a foul after misplacing his pass. Maybe a bit of a soft call, as I believe Homestead there was making good use of his body. And it will be a free kick at about midfield for the Highlanders. Free kick put out of bounds there for a goal kick. Ben Lau on the ball now. Finds Lanyon. Pass misplaced. Now it's Nisterenko. Nistrenko loses the ball there to Lau. Lau facing pressure from the midfielder. Can't get his pass off on target, and he'll come in late on his tackle. Hitting number 2, Goodyear. Has a couple words with the referee there, apologizing. No card given. As Goodyear will look to deliver this one in. Straight into the hands of Steinglass, who is comfortable there. And will take his time before rolling it out to Hotham. Hotham finds Bradley, who tries to get it to Gal, but can't sneak it past Morrison. Poked out for a Garnet throw. Hotham on the ball. Garnet coming out a little more slowly this half. I mean, at the first half they came out almost unusually fast. And showed a lot of attacking intent before getting their 3 goals in the half. This time, a little more patience from the Garnet. Maybe not quite as much incision as Lanyon passes the ball under pressure from Nistrenko. A deep pass there from Ben Lau, headed away to safety. Akers tried to get it back to Goodyear before it was recovered by the Garnet. Barilli finds Bradley. And Trevor's pass, accurate, but straight into the gut of Joe Barilli. As once again, another Highlander through ball, this time by Morrison, is way off target and straight into the hands of Steinglass. Felix Lanyon on the ball now. Barilli attempts a back heel, poked out, blocked out by Goodyear there. It'll be a Garnet throw. Barilli can't find anyone right now. Gives it to Homestead. Tumashabi has it on the wing and is able to keep it in despite the defender's block. Tumashabi still on the ball. Cuts in, finds Bradley. Bradley has a shot. Oh, what a goal! What a goal for Swathmore College. Joey Bradley, the senior there, with a rocket from outside the box and a beautiful play from Bless Tumashabi, running down the wing and cutting in before finding his teammate straight into the top left corner there. And there was absolutely nothing that Grant Grogan could do there. 4-0 to the Garnet, and they will be very happy with this start. I had just said less attacking intent, and immediately the Garnet proved me wrong. Once again, a beautiful play from Tumashabi. Bless Tumashabi now has 3 goals and 3 assists on the season, with 1 of each in this game today. Ooh, Michael Gross with a bit of a mistouch there. And he will go out of bounds for a Highlander throw-in. Fisher chooses to launch it. Headed out there by the Swarthmore defense. Bouncing around in midfield before the ball settles at the feet of Leatherman. Finding Martinez. Now it's Kickendall. Good cross there by Martinez. Header won by Hotham, but still in play. And a great job there by Michael Gross to find Omri Gal on the wing instead of just sending it out of bounds. A risky pass back there as Kickendall was just waiting for Hotham. Hotham dealt it with it very well now, and the Garnet looked to move forward. Pass by Homestead, a good body feint there from Joey Barilli, but a better tackle almost there from Josh Goodyear. Once again, though, Garnet have quickly recovered the ball. Now the ball is at the feet of Akers, who just looking for Goodyear pushed it out of bounds. It'll be a Garnet throw-in. Joey Bradley with a fantastic way to open his scoring account for the season. That was his first goal so far, and what a way to take it. Beautiful, beautiful shot from the senior. had a lot of space to work with, and I just have to acknowledge that pass there by Trevor Homestead as the Garnet looked for a fifth. Shot by Shin will roll out of bounds for a goal kick. So far, everyone on this Garnet starting lineup has been very impressive. The defense has been absolutely dominant, from Ben Lau to Harrison Hotham to the outside backs. The midfield has been linking up well and scoring well. Both Shin and Bradley now have goals on the day. And while the forwards have been making smart runs, Tumashabi with a beautiful run for his assist and a very good position taken for his goal. And Quentin Millette, the substitute who came on earlier, got his second goal of the season with another shot from outside the box. That one may be a little bit more fortuitous, as he did take a slip and the ball still made its way past Grant Grogan. Now the Garnet win the ball off of after the Highlanders free kick and look to break. Homestead had a great pass to Brilli, who couldn't really keep the ball under control. It was finally cleared out by the Highlanders. Swarthmore throw. It's Bradley on the ball. Finds Gall. Gall communicating with his attackers before giving it off to Homestead. Homestead with a fake. Cuts in. Dishes it off to Shin and receives it back, and then was looking for Tumashabi. The ball was then pushed out of bounds. Michael Gross recovers the ball and is immediately hauled down by Hasko. Free kick for the Garnet. Referee really taking advantage of that vanishing spray to mark the position where the ball should be. Will be Gross to deliver, or Homestead to deliver, I apologize. Is Gross initially walked to the ball and then headed backwards, headed away from it. Homestead will look to cross here. Delivery there to the head of Lau. His header, though, couldn't quite get it on target. Not the most comfortable position to head the ball from. Goal kick. Now we'll see a double substitution for the Highlanders. Number 9 and 11 coming on. Those are Timothy Smith and Luis P. Villanueva, replacing Hunter Martinez and Brandon Hasko on the pitch. Grogan with a goal kick. Morrison receives it and immediately boots it down the wing. No one really to get it except for the Swarthmore defense. And Gross decides to go back to his keeper. Now it's Steinglass. Light touch to Hotham. Back to Steinglass, and Steinglass will look to launch it up, but the pass settles at the head of Akers, who could not keep possession before it was cleared by the Garnet. Nestorenko finds Akers now. His pass jumped by Gall. Gall under pressure loses the ball, but Homestead recovers it. Ben Lau surrounded by pressure there and is doing a very good job of evading it. And Lanyon's deflected pass settles at the feet of Shin. Now Garnet are moving again. Lanyon on the ball. Finds Brilli. Back to Lanyon, who attempts an over-the-top ball to Shin. Headed out there by the defender. And it'll now be a Garnet throw. It was Leatherman with the crucial intervention there. And Bradley has it again at the edge of the box. This time his shot, not so nice. It'll bounce out of bounds for another Highlander goal kick. And I'll have our first substitution of the half for the Garnet, as freshman midfielder Sean Nolan will replace the game's most recent goal scorer, senior Joey Bradley. And this is my first time watching Nolan play in his natural position. So far he seemed obviously natural at it, which makes his performances at outside back all the more impressive earlier in the season when he had to deputize for Gross and Lanyon alongside the other freshman, Derek Muth. Barilli has it on the outside. Finds Tumashabi. Tumashabi looking for his options. Decides to cut back to the middle. Lays it off for Homestead. Homestead tried to send a through ball to Barilli, but it was just a little too strong, and Woojin Shin there just kind of flops his arm, saying, as if to say that he was wide open on the wing there. Now another substitution, one for each team. Io George will come onto the pitch, and so will Aaron Campbell for the Highlanders. Aaron Campbell replacing Isaac Morrison, and Io George replacing Joey Barilli, the junior winger. Goal kick for the Highlanders. Sent upfield by Grogan. Header won there by Shin, but recovered by Cairn University. Akers on the ball. Passes it back to Fisher, who loses the ball to Nolan. Nolan looking for George on the right wing. Can't quite get it to him before his pass is intercepted. But that'll take a Highlander deflection and go out for a Garnet throw-in. After the substitution, Io George is now on the right wing, with Omri Gal switching over to the left wing, occupying Barilli's old position. Homestead might have taken a cleat to the foot there as he's hopping around a little bit, but was able to find Lanyon before so. Lanyon looks to deliver. Great cross from Lanyon! And Bless Tumashabe's header is wonderfully saved by Grant Grogan. Really, outside of that one error on Quentin Millet's goal, Grogan has been a savior for this team. This game could easily now be, at the very least, 6-0 if it weren't for the keeper. Another great save by the senior. And a great job by Tumashabe to get a header on that ball. Maybe not the best header, but also a dangerous one, because those kind of downward aiming shots are harder to save from that close a distance. Good job once again by Grogan. Throw in by Fisher deep into the box. And a shot finally from the Highlanders. That just rattled the crossbar before bouncing out. And now Charlie Ward will come onto the pitch, replacing Woojin Shannon. First shot of the game came with just under 29 minutes left in the match for the Highlanders. That was Luis P. Villanueva from Albania with a shot rattled the crossbar. Could have been 4-1. The Garnet will count themselves fortunate that that one did not go in. Now it's Lau sending the ball upfield. Header won by Goodyear. Now to Akers. Kickendahl. Nestorenko. Nestorenko loses the ball but recovers it on Lanyon's attempted clearance. Now it's Smith who finds Villanueva. Now it's Kickendahl. And a little more energy now from the Highlanders after that shot attempt by Villanueva. There, Goodyear's clearance straight into the face of Tumashabe. And will go out for a Highlander throw-in. The referee will ask Tumashabe to be inspected by his trainer. Tumashabe not really happy about that, says he's fine, but will comply with the referee, obviously, as the clock is now stopped. The referee will ask Tumashabe to wait on the sideline before coming in. Throw in backwards to Lanchak. Fisher now. Fisher decides to look for Villanueva deep. Does get the ball to his man. But Villanueva can't really get past Lanyon there. And a great job by Lanyon to shield the ball before Villanueva pokes it out for a goal kick. Now, Bless Tumashabe finally able to enter the pitch. And immediately replaced by number 14, Connor Gill. Now the referee stopping play once again. I'm not quite sure what's happening right now. He's having a couple words with Coach Wagner. I'm not quite sure what they're talking about right now on the pitch. Seems the referee is explaining something to the Garnet head coach. And now play will resume. It'll be a goal kick following Villanueva and Lanyon's interaction on the baseline. Header flicked on by Homestead, but rebutted by Akers. Kickendall on the ball finds Nestorenko. They lose the ball now, though, and now it's Gall facing pressure from Akers, and a good tackle from Akers as they look to bounce on this opportunity. Once again, Villanueva, once again shielded away by Lanyon, and this time an offside flag interrupts the play. It'll be a free kick in the Garnet's favor. Not quite sure, but it does appear that the attacker was in an offside position before the pass was made. Gill gets the ball now. Looks back for Ward. Gross on the ball. Looks to send Nolan through, but Nolan is whistled offside. And that'll be another free kick, this time in favor of the Highlanders. And ever since that shot from Villanueva, the Highlanders have looked to push forward a little more. They had a couple nice, maybe one or two nice moments where they could have created another opportunity, but the Garnet has been very quick to shut that down. So again, another strong defensive performance and really strong offensive performance as well. Trevor Homestead's ball a little heavy, but Connor Gill decides to chase it down anyways. Instead, Grogan will come out of the box to get it, and his attempted pass almost took a dangerous bounce before finally being cleared away. Now it's Ben Lau on the ball facing pressure. Villanueva asks for a call for the elbow to the face, but not given. Pass now to Gill. Gill loses it to Goodyear, and Goodyear is able to find his man. Smith now. Smith has a couple options. Passes it over the top as Campbell chases it down. Campbell was able to get it, but won by Michael Gross and poked out for a corner kick. This one will be the first corner of the match for the Highlanders as they look to take advantage of a set-piece opportunity of their own. The delivery will be from Kickendall, I believe. Header won by Homestead and pushed out. Villanueva sends it back to his defense. Now it's Fisher on the ball. Fisher looking to deliver. That one's pushed away by Hotham. It'll go out for a Cairn University throw in. This one by Goodyear into the box. Header won by Lau again. Still the Highlanders on the ball. Good step there by Nolan to win the ball, and he's able to find Io George. Io George tearing down the sideline, looking to get past his marker. Fisher going after him, and the ball is judged to have gone out of bounds off of George. It will be a throw-in for the Highlanders. Deep throw there, won by Hotham. Another throw-in as the Highlanders look to move forward on the pitch. Another long throw-in. Once again, won by Hotham. This time it stays in bounds. Akers' header went straight to Homestead, and now the Garnet have the ball. Omrigal receives it on the left wing. Omrigal looking to take Goodyear on, maybe one-on-one. Instead lays it off for an overlapping Charlie Ward. Charlie Ward looked to find Connor Gill in the middle. His cross deflected into the hands of Grogan there. Another good passage of play for Swarthmore as they try to find a 5th goal in this match. Deep ball there by Rogan, header won by Hotham. Ward tried to find Gal but couldn't get the ball to him. Recovered though by the Garnet and then immediately taken back by Nestorenko. Nestorenko finds Villanueva. His pass blocked by Homestead. Villanueva still has the ball though. Nestorenko now. Nestorenko finds Goodyear, who's looking for Villanueva, and Ben Lau with another good step. His clearance straight to Kikendall though. Now it's Smith on the ball. Smith tries to pop it up to Villanueva, but the header's won by Lanyon. And it'll roll out for a Highlander throw-in. And now there will be another Garnet substitution as number 13, Julian Bueno, will come onto the pitch for Omri Gal. Omri Gal, who's had a very solid performance on both wings today. My first time seeing him on the wing. Very clean passing, a couple nice dribbling opportunities, and just a really good, solid performance from the usually the center midfielder. Doesn't necessarily seem to be too happy, however, there on the sideline. Maybe wanted a goal of his own. Harrison Hotham now on the bench. Ball finds its way to Lanyon. Now it's Homestead touching with Bueno. Bueno gives it back to Homestead, but it just a little too strong and into the feet of the Highlanders. Kikendall on the ball. Finds Morrison. Decides to give it back to his defense, who whip it up, but the ball will roll safely out of bounds for the Garnet's throw-in. Really not a very accurate performance today from the Highlanders in general. Both their short and intermediate passes and their long passes have been a little bit lacking at times today. This time, once again, the pass a little too high for Kikendall, recovered by Ward. Ward looking to launch a counterattack immediately straight to the feet of Io George. Io George can't keep possession, and the ball is poked out of bounds there by Fisher. But I think it's been a very stark contrast between the two teams' passing ability today. It might be due to the skill of the Swarthmore midfield and defense in pressuring and recovering. Jason Muth now replacing Trevor Homestead on the pitch. It might just be a sloppy day overall, just because for the Highlanders. But one thing is certain, the Garnet have been much more accurate, and that has been one of the reasons why they've been able to be so dominant throughout this match. Gross loses the ball there. Kikendall with the recovery. Kikendall will look for support. Instead, will face a double team and still make his way through. Kikendall finally passes the ball away. Now it's Goodyear on the ball. Goodyear gets it back to Kikendall, but his pass for Villanueva is off. Throw in for the Garnet. Lau on the ball. Gives it to Muth. Hotham on the ball now. Hotham maybe was looking to see if he had an option on a deep ball. Decided to pass it short. Now it's Charlie Ward with it. The Garnet being very patient now. There's a big space between the Highlander offense and midfield. And that kind of gap the Garnet could have operated. Instead, Oliver Steinglass decided to send it deep. And right there you see the gap. Charlie Ward has tons of space. Can't get his pass off to Bueno though. Intercepted by Goodyear and recovered by Lau. And Lau's pass is errant to Kikendall. But Kikendall once again can't find Villanueva with his pass. Very well done by Harrison Hotham to intercept and cover for Lau after he had decided to step up for that pass. Jason Muth there tries to put in a tackle and instead is called for the foul. Referee reaching for his cards. It will be a yellow card for the Swarthmore midfielder. He tried to plead his case there, and the referee was not having it. Muth there had lost the ball and looked like he may have won it. Instead, he did enter a bit rashly there. This referee has been very lenient, not in terms of fouls, but almost any time he blows his whistle, he has asked for a stoppage of the clock. This is the first time I've seen the clock be stopped so many times in a game without there being that many significant injuries. I mean, we had a couple. Oh, and a shot there by Villanueva. Both shots now by the attacker, and it's judged to have been off target, I believe. Another substitution made as number 24 for the Garnet. Patterson Malcolm will replace the right back, Michael Gross, in defense. And number 8, Brandon Haskell for the Highlanders will replace Luis P. Villanueva on the other team's formation. An interesting call from the Highlanders coach to remove the only player on the team to have had a shot in this game. Both of them from Villanueva. And that one just flew off target. Barely. Good job there to get a shot off in that situation. Had a ton of bodies surrounding him. And now it seems that the Garnet will slowly be pulling out the rest of their starters, as now Zach Viscusi is getting ready to come onto the pitch. And so is, I believe that's freshman Luca Marcelli as well. That cross delivered straight to Bueno, who attempted on the half volley. Could not get it away from Grogan, straight into the hands of the keeper there. Grogan will roll it out this time. Leatherman gives it back to Grogan, who will look to pass it deep. Gets it to Morrison, who gets the flick on, but Harrison Hotham with the recovery. Instead, the referee will call a foul there, after I believe Morrison may have gotten pushed a little bit on that header. It'll be another set piece for the Highlanders. Delivery into the box. Flies over the heads of everybody and straight into the hands of Steinglass. Just after taking a bounce, Steinglass will look to distribute it to either Nolan or Malcolm there. Neither of them could get to the ball. And we will not have the substitution yet, never mind. Fisher will take the throw-in first. Headed on once again by Morrison. Malcolm gets a head on it, and Nolan brings the ball down. Now it's George on the wing. George has Malcolm's overlapping with him. Instead gives it to Charlie Ward, intercepted there by Nestorenko. But Ward gets the recovery. Now it's Muth on the ball. Muth looking for Julian Bueno. Julian Bueno chasing a ball. Will he keep it in bounds? Yes, he will. Bueno will look to cross. Puts his delivery onto the feet of George, but can't control it. Garnet still have it at the edge of the box. Once again, back to the left wing to Julian Bueno. Bueno facing off against Goodyear. Bueno cuts and finds Lanyon at the top of the box. Lanyon loses the ball to Kickendahl. Kickendahl now facing off against Ward. Ward with the recovery. Good job there by Charlie Ward to beat his man, to take the ball away from his man. Bueno once again on the left wing. Bueno facing off against Nestorenko. Decides to pass it off to Ward. Ward has options. Passes it wide to Patterson Malcolm. Malcolm has space. It's time to consider his options. Finds Nolan at the top of the box. Nolan gives it back to Malcolm, who looks to cross. His cross is blocked, but he'll keep it in bounds. And now he'll give it to Nolan. Nolan finds Connor Gill. Gill on the half volley. And that one is saved by Grant Grogan. Another good attempt from the Garnet. They are still looking for more goals in this one. Grogan will look to throw it deep. Kickendahl passes it back to Goodyear. Goodyear will look to launch it up straight into the feet of Lanyon. Lanyon gives it to Nolan, who will slow things down and give it to Ben Lau. Lau will look to launch an attack there. The good ball placed over the top just rolled too far for Connor Gill to reach. And now we'll have a quadruple sub for the Garnet. That is Viscusi, Marcelli, number 23, Jonah Johnson, and number 27, Cole Smith coming onto the pitch. And I believe it may have been Haskell coming onto the field for the Highlanders, replacing Hunter Martinez. Ward on the ball. Looking for Muth, intercepted there by Morrison. It'll be a Garnet throw. Rian Bueno finds Marcelli. Marcelli looks for Viscusi but overplays his ball. Leatherman with the interception, but poor pass there from Kickendall taken away. Garnet on the ball. Connor Gill was getting ready to shoot, couldn't get his shot off, keeps it. Now he finds Bueno on the left wing. Bueno maybe looking to cross, no, back to Connor Gill. Gill pushing down, passes it on the ground. Leatherman will push that ball out and out of bounds. Also, I forgot to mention, off for the Garnet is Felix Lanyon. I believe Ben Lau, yeah, Sean Nolan, and Io George. Harrison Hotham steps in front of Nistrinko's pass there. Recovered by Gill, who looked to find Ward, but his pass was intercepted. Now it's Smith, found Akers. Now it's Kickendall looking to start something for the Highlanders. Haskell takes a bad touch there and gets the ball taken away by Julian Bueno. Oliver Steinglass finds Patterson Malcolm there with his pass. Malcolm has a quick exchange with Charlie Ward before giving the ball off to Connor Gill. Connor Gill finds Viscusi, who lays it off for Malcolm. Malcolm now has a time to cross. His cross flies over everyone's head, but Julian Bueno is able to chase it down. Julian Bueno has time, has Marcelli overlapping. Decides to keep it and find Muth at the top of the box. Muth will take a shot, and Muth will score! Goal! For Swathmore College. Jason Muth, the center defensive midfielder, gets his first goal of the season on the assist by Julian Bueno, and a great shot, top of the box, over the hands, the outstretched hands of Grant Grogan. 5-0 now for the Garnet on their 20th shot of the match, compared to only one listed shot for the Highlanders. They have two, I believe, both from Villanueva. Villanueva came back onto the pitch. So did number 21, John Jung. I apologize if I'm getting my pronunciation wrong. And they'll look to maybe get a consolation goal from this match, but I mean, with just over 10 minutes left and a 5-0 Swarthmore lead, it's safe to say that this game has been out of hand for a while. Goal kick for the Highlanders. Now 2 more Garnet subs. Those are numbers 18 and 28. That's Luke Newrider and Derek Muth coming onto the pitch, replacing Julian Bueno, who just got an assist, and Connor Gill on the pitch. That was Bueno's first assist of the season. Gill maybe not happy that he wasn't able to get that volley into the back of the net. However, it's not an easy shot to score, and just to have the control and the skill to get the effort off and have such a decent attempt at goal anyway was impressive there. Now it's Villanueva on the ball. Villanueva loses it to Marcelli. Marcelli is able to chase it down, but his touch betrays him a little there. It'll be a throw-in for the Highlanders. Jung on the ball. Back to Goodyear. Finds Villanueva. And now the passing's a little bit neater there for the Highlanders. Nestorenko on the ball. Finds Campbell. Campbell looks to cross, deflects off of New Rider, I believe, but gets his second chance effort in. That's headed out by Cole Smith. And now it's Malcolm on the ball. New Rider will boot it upfield. Never mind, he'll boot it out of bounds. Now it appears that with these substitutions, we have Smith, Hotham, Muth, and New Rider at outside back, with deep throw in again, headed on by Goodyear, saved by Oliver Steinglass. With Muth at center defensive mid, Ward, and I believe Jonah Johnson at center mid, and then your wingers are Patterson, Malcolm, who just shifted up after the substitution, and Luca Marcelli at forward, Zach Viscusi. Ball's bouncing around midfield. Akers brings it down, tackled by Charlie Ward, but Akers is able to keep the ball, also fights off Johnson's tackle. Good job there by Akers to keep possession. Now it's Nestorenko. Nestorenko, who's been fairly quiet in this game. Look to switch. Muth loses the ball now to Goodyear. And the Highlanders are pushing forward with numbers. Villanueva sends it back to Goodyear. Garnett really closing down around. Now they have all 10 outfield players on their own half. That header popped up by Smith. Easy for Oliver Steinglass. Steinglass elects to punt. With under 10 minutes left in this one. Ball won by Malcolm, and he's able to get his pass off to Viscusi. Viscusi has Marcelli running down the wing. Viscusi tries to get it to Marcelli, but maybe a little too late. And it's recovered by the Highlanders. Their clearance goes straight to Muth. Muth to Muth. The siblings Muth there. Zach Viscusi on it, but loses it to Jung. Jung clears it to Smith, who gets the recovery, and now the ball is back with the Highlanders. Once again, another great step by Harrison Hotham, and his clearance goes straight to Zach Viscusi. Viscusi gives it to Charlie Ward. Charlie Ward looks to find Viscusi with the over-the-top ball. A great ball! And the referee calls offside there. A beautiful, beautiful pass there by Charlie Ward, and a great, great run by Zach Viscusi. I couldn't quite tell if he was offside, but we will see. It did look to me that he might have been a hair off. I do believe that was a good call by the linesman, but still a great, great exchange between the two players. And Zach Viscusi did very well to almost get that shot on target regardless. He had the goalkeeper right in his face there. Anyway, the Garnet are back on the ball. Johnson finds Malcolm. Malcolm tries to turn but loses the ball. Nestorenko looks to launch it upfield. Villanueva knew he was offside. He'll just leave it. Let it roll all the way down to Steinglass. Now it's Derek Muth on the ball. Derek Muth launched it there. Header won by Leatherman. Now it's Nestorenko sending a high ball up. Finds Villanueva. Villanueva can't really get control of it. Now he does. Cuts back against Smith, and Smith tried to take the ball from him, but a good job forcing the cross to go further out to the top of the box instead of the penalty spot or somewhere more dangerous, and the Garnet were able to recover. Charlie Ward has it on the left side. Charlie Ward looks for Johnson, but his pass is a little too late. Johnson does well to recover the ball anyway. Smith on the ball. Smith will look to send it deep. Instead, he'll send it out of bounds. Throw in for the Highlanders as Connor Gill tried to lift the ball up with his feet to the Cairn University defender. Goodyear charges up and heads it forward. Muth wins a header in response. The ball bounces over Jung's head and into the feet of Ward. Now it's Marcelli on the ball. Marcelli finds Viscusi there. Viscusi now on the left wing. One-on-one against Goodyear. Viscusi delivers it, tries to find Malcolm. Malcolm lets it roll by him. That ball to New Rider, I believe, and New Rider just skied that one. Goal kick for the Highlanders. Now have another substitution. That's number 20, Andy Kim, coming on, and number 17, Gabe Levis. I apologize. I'm not quite sure what the correct pronunciation is. Zachary Viscusi and Charlie Ward making way. Now we have Luca Marcelli dropping in a little bit deeper. I believe his position taken by Levis on the wing. Marcelli now playing a more central role. As Muth there wins the ball. Can't quite control it, and it'll go back to the Highlanders. Header won there by Newrider. Jung receives it in midfield. He'll pass it back to Goodyear. Leatherman now finds Lanchak. Lanchak under pressure. Gets it to Akers, and Akers loses the ball there to Jason Muth, not Derek, I apologize. An attempted through ball by Muth. Didn't make its way through, but finds Johnson's feet. Now it's Levis called for offside as he was receiving the ball on the outside wing. Just over 3.5 minutes left in this non-conference matchup. Akers finds Fisher on the outside, and Fisher's pass just inaccurate, goes out for a Garnet throw. Muth to Malcolm. Malcolm finds Kim. Now it's Johnson on the ball. At almost an almost all freshman attack there, except for Patterson Malcolm on the right wing. Marcelli's able to get by his marker and gets it to Muth. Muth now with 3 around him, still has the ball after initially losing it to Jung. Now it's back to Marcelli. Now it's Jason Muth on it. Jason Muth facing heat from behind, but gets his ball away to Kim. Johnson looking for Malcolm, couldn't get it to his man, and it was cleared away. Header headed out for a throw-in by Cole Smith. Goodyear to take this throw in as number 10 for the Highlanders, Josiah Nistorenko, their highest goal scorer, is substituted off. Just over 2 minutes left in this one. His night is over. Wasn't able to impact this game as much as he would have liked to from that center midfield position. The Swathmore center midfielders all swarming, all dominant, all very good performances. Nistorenko rendered ineffective. Malcolm looks to send it through. His pass is blocked out for Garnet throw. Newrider there fakes out the winger and is able to throw it off to Muth, who finds Kim. There's a bit of a collision, and the referee will call the free kick. I'm not quite sure if that was the right call. But at this point in the game, it doesn't really matter. Grogan will send it up deep, headed on by Fisher, covered by the Garnet. Now it's Levis on the ball. Levis shielding, tries to find a backheel pass, but it's intercepted. And then Jung's subsequent pass is taken away by the Garnet. A good tackle there from Goodyear on Levis, as if he had made it past the defender, then he would have been through. Johnson with applying pressure. The ball will roll by. Hotham not quite aware of Campbell's presence there, but it made it safely to Steinglass regardless. Now there are 40 seconds left in the game. Steinglass threw that one out, or kicked it out. I missed the exact method. Deep throw headed away by Muth. Goodyear responds. Muth responds once again. Goodyear responds once again. Marcelli pushes it up. Levis now on the ball. Ball falls to Malcolm, who can't get a good touch on it. And now it's Garrett Seidel, who was not able to keep the ball in, and now there are just 10 seconds left in the game. And Derek Muth will launch it. Well, he'll find Kim. Kim will hold the ball, find Marcelli, and that is the game, ladies and gentlemen. Final score in this non-conference matchup: Swarthmore College 5, Cairn University 0. An absolutely dominant performance tonight by the Garnet. 5 goals from 5 different players. Your goal scorers today are Woojin Shin, Bless Tumashabi, Quentin Millette, Joey Bradley, and Jason Muth. Both Muth and Bradley scoring their first goals of the season. Normally, when you see these games, these 5-0 games, not a lot of credit goes to the defense because everyone's paying all the attention to the offense. So I just quickly want to shout out all the defenders and Oliver Steinglass today, who contributed to this clean sheet. Only 2 total shots led up in the game. Only 2 saves forced for Oliver Steinglass. A great performance overall by the defense, and just in general, a great performance by the team as a whole. I don't really think there's one player who can say they played poorly after tonight's matchup on the Garnet squad. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we hope you'll tune in this Saturday. Never mind, I apologize. That's an away game. We hope you'll tune into the Garnet Sports Network Saturday, October 26th, as the Garnet host Gettysburg College at 4 p.m. The 2 games preceding that are at Johns Hopkins University at 6:30 this coming Saturday, and Saturday the 19th at McDaniel College at 1 p.m. Thank you very much for tuning in, and have a good night.